this company puts money on the table, we don't leave it. Like if they're giving it to us, we're going for it. And we want all of you guys to go for it. So with no further ado, I want to introduce Emily, and then we'll wrap up with what the Manager Mania promotion is, exactly what you have to do. And I'm also going to draw out manager because I know that we've got some really senior leaders on here that know what to do and they could teach it in French upside down in the middle of their sleep. And I know that I've got a prospect on the call, that I met earlier today, and I was like, you're going to crush it. And she doesn't know what we're speaking about with Iso-Latin and Celetois and globes and Tulum. I mean, it probably sounds like a foreign language, right? I could be doing this in French, but I want her to get off this call and know exactly what to do because I know she could do it tonight. But Emily Sutherland, many of you know her, many of you don't. If you know her, put a 2 in the chat. But she is not only one of my sweetest friends, she is one of the fastest growing teams in my business, but in all of the mountain regions. So she is constantly on the top leader in action for the Mountain Horizon region. She is always in earning her executive lifestyle bonus. She's always playing in the leadership pools. And when I tell you that this girl does what it takes, she is fiercely competitive in a good way, not in I want to be better than anybody else, but she is so inspired. And I told Laura, I was like, I can only imagine. I wish I had seen Emily's face when she knew she qualified for Tulum before me. I wish I had seen it because I know how hard she's working. But I'm looking at her business right now, and not just with the enrollments, but with the rank advancements and the deep bench of rank advancements. People in her second PET, her third PET, her fourth PET, where she's finding them, how she's reaching down. I've been working with Emily for 2 years, you guys. She's a 3-star Golden Circle. She's created many executives deep into her team. That recognition should just be higher because she works so low into her team. Ran to a 6-figure income, was a part of Start 1000 in her first year. When we first started working together, she had a baby that was just a few months old. Now she has a baby, or 1.5, right? How old was Evie? 1.5. And now she's about to be 3. She goes pregnant. Now her second baby is 10 months old, and just watching her do this late at night, early in the morning. But it's so fun to see because sometimes she's really organized and gorgeous and stunning. Look at her right now, you guys. She's not absolutely beautiful. But then I get to witness the Hot Mess Express, and I love it because she just shows what's possible when she's got a baby screaming in the background. I'm pretty sure the cat threw up and she's selling a value pack and having an at-home birth in a pool. And I'm not kidding you guys. She enrolled somebody on New Year's Eve, basically having a baby at home. And it was here's the order, put it in. I was I don't even know what's happening. So that's a teeny bit of who she is and her work ethic. But Em, I want you to just kind of tell everybody right now, start with just your shift in energy. You came out of the gates hot, and then you were busy being pregnant and having a baby, and now you are out of the gates hotter than you were a year and a half ago. Just talk about what's happening. I've got some specific questions, but I think it's a great place to start.
Hi, everybody, and thank you, Lauren, for having me on this call. Really, what happened is I started shifting my energy, and I did it with very, very full force and intent. I was listening to podcasts. I was making sure to manage my time. I mean, as I took a step back and enjoyed baby life and brand new baby life, of course, I was I knew that it was my business was gonna dip a little bit. And to be honest with you, it was so frustrating because I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there at the last Mexico trip, and my energy wasn't there because I was hugely pregnant. I couldn't go. So I know that you always have to lead, and your team only does usually 10% of what you do. And you were always there. You're always leading. You're always pushing. And that's exactly what I needed from you. And there was a big shift of energy all the way. But when Tulum came up, I got pictures. I put pictures on my phone. I put pictures on my desktop. I put pictures of myself in a bikini again, because now I want to trim myself back down post baby. And in addition to just taking a minute and being really, really, really thankful for where I'm at, I never, ever thought that I was not going to hit Tulum. I immediately went straight into it and said, I know I'm going to go there. I know I'm going to have my toes in the sand. And I know I'm going to look at my husband and say, guess what I just did? Which is exactly what I just did. And it was so fun to have him be like, you really did? And I was like, yes. So big shift of energy. I wrote my affirmations all over, everywhere. I would every single morning, I would repeat with Evie, who's my almost 3-year-old, day by day in every way. I'm getting better and better. And yes, Lauren, you have witnessed for sure the Hot Mess Express. When I have stress going on, it's like my brain does not work, but I know every single day I am getting better. And that's the most that I can ever hope for, and the most that I could ever expect from anybody else. So I know I have to lead stronger as a leader. And I've worked really hard on my development skills and my leadership skills, because I see that you always are there for me. You always show up for me, and I don't always want to have to lean on you as a leader.
She's amazing, you guys. And it's true. You can feel the energy, right? You're already excited. And she's always really positive. But I will also just say, because I'm going to brag on you a little bit, we all have heard like it takes one person to change your business, right? Like one person to either come in and run with you, one person to just bring that excited energy. And when you're in a season where you're like, no one's getting on team calls, no one's on the power hours, no one's enrolling, like, like I'm texting everybody and, I'm giving CPR at the morgue, right? Like Jessica's line. That is not fun. And that makes this business not fun. And Emily didn't stay in that place. In a team that kind of was running with her in a massive momentum, they slowed down a little bit, and it was doling her spark. And instead of being like, okay, like no one's going to do this, she went out and built a freaking class like nobody's business, like just brought in the new class. And not only are they running with her and she has a ton of enrollments and a ton of rank advancement, you reignited her whole team. They're like, what's happening? What's going on? And people don't want to be left behind, and people get excited, and it reminds them of that new energy and how contagious that is and the type of people that are out there. And it is now everybody's rowing together, right? Everybody's excited and everybody's moving together. And I'm sharing that because if you're in that season where it's like, what the heck? Like, why is my team not on this call right now? Go find the new people, because they'll run with you again, or if it's not their season, just find the ones that are, because it's so much better energetically to focus on the one who's doing the things than the 10 who are not doing any of the things. So we wanted to go through and like really give you some tangible ideas, because as excited as she is, there are very much some income producing activities, some activities that I see Emily doing. So we work so closely together that I want to highlight, and some other things that she'll share. But the first is, if you do have, and I don't know if it is the same every day, to be completely honest, like your daily method of operations, like a morning routine or certain things you do during nap time, like what does your day look like? And what are the areas that you are really prioritizing in order to have the number of enrollments that you have? You guys, when I tell you numbers of enrollments, like 4 to 5 enrollments a week, like 1 to 2 consultants a week, like her team is absolutely exploding right now.
Thank you. Honestly, there's not exact. I finally got clear. There was a podcast that you sent me, or I don't even know, one of these things, and it flat out said, there's ordinary people who have this many hours in the day, and there's extraordinary people who have this many hours in the day. And if you can optimize your hours in exactly 5 hours of time, I have reminders on my phone that flat out said 6 hours into the day. It says 6 hours into the day. It reminds me almost every single day, every other day. It's 6 hours into the day. What have you done to improve your children's lives? And that it checks me. It puts me in check. I have little things on my phone as simple pop-ups of what are you grateful for, and making sure that I'm in a place of gratitude to be able to lead with that. But what I have done, first thing in the morning, if I immediately pick this up, I definitely am a little tainted. So my one thing, if I get up and I immediately lock onto a podcast, it shifts my energy. I feel better. I have to get my body moving, and I have to be able to get my brain moving. So those are 2 things that have made a big shift, that I know I feel better, and I lead better when I have that physical output. In addition to, with itty bitty pockets of my time, I know while I'm breastfeeding Hazel, I can send out birthday messages. And yes, every once in a while they hear noises and I'm like, oh, sorry, that's my baby. But at the same time, it makes me real. And you either like that or you think I'm weird. I don't care. And if you're not my person, that's okay. Really, as soon as they go, I know when I have locked out times when they go to sleep, usually when they're not sick, or having bad days or teething, and that I make sure I have something scheduled. I know that I can schedule it with this person. I know that I can do my follow-ups at this time. And to and from dropping off my little girl. I follow up with my team. Hey, how are things going? How can I help you today? So making sure that I'm scheduling my time down to a T. And if I'm able to rewrite it, it helps program it into my brain that much better as I look at my day ahead.
It's true, you guys, and anyone working with her knows, like, we're doing calls at 1 o'clock. They're at nap time. Like, it's like, when you free, 1 or 1:30. I mean, and people are getting on them because it's her posture. You know, she's not like, oh, I'll do it at 9 or I'll do it at this. I mean, she's like, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mama and I got 2 babies. So we can do it at nap time or after bedtime at 8. And people are responding, like, they want to be a part of what she's doing. And it really reinforces that, number one, you can do this business at any point. Number two, to validate your time, because that's when this business doesn't feel very freeing, when you're saying yes to everything, but also that people see her value. In the same way, my dentist is not like, oh, I want to come in at 5:30 in the morning. He's like, no, I have a 2:15 or a 4:08, you know? And I'm like, okay, I'll take the 4:08, right? I mean, we all know, we get into our dentist when they say, it's the same way, there's value here. And they're like, okay, I'm going to make nap time at 1:30 tomorrow. And you're doing a really good job of that. So one of the things I really wanted to ask you about was your reach outs, both online where you're finding people and in person, because like, you guys, when you hear just the way that she connects, and I laugh because she's living in an area that I used to live. And so I was like, well, that's a former consultant, but if she wants to get enrolled, like, go for her again. Or, you know, I was like, I talked to that person a long time ago, but let's see, you know, how this is going. But she'll say, oh, I met, you know, Evie's gymnastics instructor, or, you know, she's like, I just met the coolest person at this brewery. And now, like, the events that have come from that. So just kind of talk a little bit about where you're meeting people and how you're getting all of these events and presentations set up that are positioning you in a place that people are just like ready to get going.
There's a lot of different directions. So I'll try and keep them as organized as possible. I've been reaching out to breweries to do lunch and learn, sip and glow situations. And that's been working out really well, because breweries, to be honest with you, they just want the business. Having that exposure really helps them, and lunch and learn situations really do work for them and their benefit. And they usually don't charge you in addition to, and sometimes they'll do like summer events that you can quickly jump into as well without having to pay for a booth. So I have reached out to local people. In that manner, I've looked for various different events that I can be participating in and engaging in. I've recently joined a mom's fitness group type situation and connected with the gal there. She was running an ad, a local ad, and it was Camp Gladiator. And simply put, I wanted to be able to work out with people. And so I reached out to her. I said, I don't know if I can do this because I don't know if the scheduling is right, but I'm new in town and I'm really looking to make like-minded individual connections. I know you're in health and wellness. Let's connect. Like, I want to meet you. Now let's go have a cup of coffee. And they're like, yes. Same thing with the networking group, the Castle Rock specific networking group. I met with the owner just the other day. I'm supposed to meet with her again, or not the owner, sorry, the person who runs that. And I am going to meet with her again tomorrow. And she wants to have, again, little events where I am featured. I can talk about what I do and see if ladies are interested. She says, I don't know any one of my gals who wouldn't be interested in collagen. I was like, cool, let's do this. So in addition
Tell
to
them about Heather, how you met Heather and what that happened when you guys went to happy hour. This is one of her newest consultants.
Okay, Heather was random. And it just makes me happy because this shows me that I'm really in alignment with my energy. I had a situation where I purchased a back massager off Facebook Marketplace. I sent her the money just immediately through Venmo because I was like, I want it. I thought she was closer to me. And I was like, well, crap, lady, you're like way in the heck up there. Is there any way you would meet me? Long story short, we ended up meeting. I was like, well, right about that time, do you want to get some early happy hour? She's like, yeah, let's do it. And so we ended up sitting there chit-chatting, having a glass of wine. We've never met each other ever. And I told her all about what I did. And guess what? She was consultant that day. So it was very happen chance. I led with my heart. She told me some things going on with what her health had gone through. her skin, she had some skin conditions going on, and my heart went out to her. And I was like, can I please help you? I really want to help you, just because I've seen these products change lives. That's why it's so easy. They're not run-of-the-mill products. I'm not going to change somebody's life, and I never want to bad mouth any other products out there, but I'm never going to change your life by bringing you new cookware in your kitchen or, beauty products. A lot of times I'm not going to change your world. Whereas if all of a sudden you can get rid of a rash and lose that excess weight and have the confidence to do XYZ, that's life-changing. And that's what happened to me. So I'm bolder and louder and prouder than ever before. And it might be coming off as cockiness, but I don't really care. And that just shows, like, I just don't, because if I annoy 5 people, but I impact one person's life for the better, I could care less. And it sounds insensitive, but the impact that I've had on people's lives, that just, I love it. I love that. I love that feeling. That's what so many of us want to do, whether you went into becoming a nutritionist like me or not. So many people just want to impact other people's lives in a very, very positive manner. That's what you're going to do with this company, because they're game changer market disruptor products. But the last
So,
one,
you guys, she's meeting a ton of people, right? Obviously, she's talking to people everywhere she goes. She's talking to people at her kids' activities, at the daycare drop off. She's talking to people online, Facebook Marketplace. She's joining groups. She's doing all these events. And that is part of, like, we always say have more qualified leads than time. And that's exactly where she's at. I mean, she literally has business cards from all over the place, lists of names from the events that she's done at these farmers markets and sip and shops at boutiques that we did together. And, she's got these windows of time. I mean, there are literally more people. But one of the other things that you are doing so well, Emily, is 3-way messages and follow-up. And I really want to highlight this and kind of have you talk about it, not only how you're utilizing your team, like people like me or Laura or Kathy, Nicola, in your group messages, and talk about that and how you don't make it weird, but how you're duplicating that, how with the people you're bringing on, you're leveraging yourself to be able to create these consultants. I mean, she's popping out consultants, you guys, like Pez candy. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, they're coming in. I'm like, did you just create another consultant? Like, and what's happening. But that is the part that people want to know. How do you do this? Like, and you don't make it weird. I know you don't ask permission. So I want you to talk here a little bit specifically on how you are doing group messages for yourself, but how you've duplicated this, how you've taught your team to do it.
When you first told me to do 3-way messages, I was like, why would I introduce you? You're a nutritionist. I'm a nutritionist. I know what I'm doing here. But if I led with, how can I serve you better? Then that made the awkwardness erase itself. Immediately, I will connect people to Lauren and say, look, Lauren, today I connected this amazing powerhouse woman who I met at an event, and she was talking about xenoestrogens. I was like, she speaks our language. I really want to connect you guys. And I was like, I know that you said that this is so not for you, but I would absolutely love to just put us on a call, see if there is any possibility of collaborating in any way, shape, or form. She has her own podcast. She definitely cares very much so about health, hormones, all that. And bottom line, I just think this would be an amazing connection. If it's not for you, no worries. You probably know that just the type of people that I'm looking for, and you can make a lasting impact on their lives. That's really, so that was one, being able to connect different people. I've connected a lot of people to Kathy recently, Kathy Darnick, because she's been in so many other network marketing companies. And I'm like, can you just touch on the fact that there's so many other network marketing companies out there, and I haven't been a part of a ton of them. I simply haven't. And a ton of them. I haven't been part of any of them. So being able to say, this amazing leader has been on so many different network marketing companies, and let her tell you how amazingly different this is. I know you're skeptical. I hear you for that. And I want to be respectful about that. But I also want to express to you, there's no other company like this. There's no other company like this. And Kathy, can you quickly touch on how you have felt a difference, not only with your pocketbook, but the environment and the community and the products on a whole? So I connect in loads of different ways. And I mean, even when I connect to random people on social media. Oh my gosh, Lauren, you have to meet this girl. You need to look at her Instagram, whatever she's doing with her reels and her TikToks. I really want to recreate, like, how can we collaborate with her, because she's dynamite and I want some of her energy. Definitely want you guys to chit chat and be able to connect a little bit further. How can we support you on a whole? It's really about being
good. And I'm gonna switch this a little bit. You guys, we did an event. If you know me, I don't do a lot of festivals and stuff anymore. It's not my jam, right? I did it kind of early on, and if I do it, it's because it's qualified people or it's a place that makes me feel good. And we were invited to have a table at an event that was a bunch of fitness vendors. It's a nonprofit organization, and I'm friends with the woman, and I was like, okay, there's gonna be at least 1,000 people there. It's all health and wellness people. It would be stupid for us not to do it. And I'm looking at the med spas that are there. I'm looking at the estheticians. I'm looking at the massage therapists, and I've got my avatar, right? And Emily's talking to this sweet, kind of introverted, you know, a little shy taekwondo instructor, this little taekwondo gym next to us. And I was just like, I mean, they're both married, you know, it's not like a flirty thing, but I was like, oh, they're just going to be like friends. They're talking about their kids. When I found out that like Tim was one of the managers, right? I was like, the taekwondo guy, like from the Fit Fest, was it your manager? Like, you know, how in the world, right? Because it's like, you think it's going to be the esthetician that's going to come out and blow it out of the, you know, the water. And anybody can do this, and really walk through how you got him on the product, how you got him to consultant. You guys, this is not like manufactured or anything. These are like legitimate enrollment. Like, we tried to be like, you're going to order all this product, divide it up. And he was very, I'm reserved. I want to try it. I mean, this is like very organic and totally perfected manager thing. It fell out, but I would love for you to explain how you coached him and how you told him to put you in those messages and what that looked like, because you made that possible.
Honestly, with him, I just saw that he had a huge heart when it came to serving the community. I mean, in addition to, I researched him. I looked up his gym, and he had impeccable Google reviews. And I was like, anybody who has that type of presence, I so want to be part of. And you could tell he was extremely intelligent. And when I was talking about residual income, he was like, okay. And then I started talking about quality of products. And I was like, if you could provide some quality of products that you know for a fact your clientele could go to, wouldn't that be a game changer? Because I know you already, based off your physique, people are going to ask you. And he says, yeah, absolutely. They do currently. I don't necessarily have something that I could direct them to. It's like, I would love to come and play there. So ironically, it was coincidentally when Lauren had some things going on, and I was able to connect to, oh my gosh, I'm blanking her name. I'm sorry. No. Anyway, say lovey. But I ended up doing a call with him, and I kind of laid it out how this would work. And I was like, you and your wife, how about you split a 30-day? And they want to do the basic one, which is perfectly fine. So they did a basic 30-day, and he did 2 weeks, she did 2 weeks together, and they both had incredible results. And we talked about splitting up the orders, but really he's like, I'm good. I just want to see what this product is like. Okay, sure. So he did it. He immediately introduced me after about a week and a half. He says, I'm loving this result so far. I feel nourished. I feel great. I'm going to connect you to 2 different people that I feel like would really rock this and do amazing at this. So I was like, okay. And one, Jill, is incredible. She wanted to do it with her husband, plus she wanted the collagen, plus she's like, my mom wants the collagen. And now she starts saying, she's like, I used to be with doTERRA. This compensation plan is so different. I want extra money. I hate what I do. All right, let's go do this. And she's just such a sweet, amazing person, in addition to a guy who we worked with. So we're getting ready to set up and do an event there to have me featured and talk to some of his clientele and patronage. But, you know, I didn't know he was going to go that far. I had no idea. I just kept putting people in text threads. I was ironically traveling, and I said, hey, Lauren, this person is about to become a consultant. This is how it's going to happen. Just so you know, I'm doing this, but I'm still here. If you have questions, Lauren is always here as well. So this is where we work so closely together as a team, whether it just simply be, I'm stepping away because I have a family thing, or I have, you know, a baby that is teething. or a cat that is whining. Sorry about that.
She said to all of her people, you guys, this is what she said. She goes, hey, just ask them if they use a collagen. Ask them, if they want to make some more money, and then just introduce me. Just say, hey, I'm teaching a taekwondo class. This is the girl that got me set up on the collagen. This is my client. She can answer all of your questions. And they're coming out of the classes, and she's, sent out carts to 3 different people, because this is not their full time and it is hers, but she's teaching them how to introduce them. She's helping her people get the recommended carts. When she enrolls them, right away, we're upgrading you to an associate. I'm going to make sure you have a cart, one on your right, one on your left, that you don't need me. They're ready to go because people are going to be asking you what you're doing. And her posture and conviction that it's a non-negotiable that they're going to share. And she just launches them that way. And so the last 2 things that I really wanted you to talk about is really the contest and urgency that you have. You guys, Emily gives away, part of her PIDs or reimburses shipping or does some things in a way that I think is very admirable, right? We don't ever want to buy your business. And I've seen people do some promotion. I'm you're losing money and that's not duplicated. We don't want to bring people in that, that the only way to do this is to buy things. But when you're getting double PIDs or triple PIDs, or you're getting some rank advancement bonuses and you want to use that as incentive and give that to your team to drive the line or to create some urgency for people to do it, it's very smart. And Gianni mentored both Jessica and I that way. We were cycling 2 times a week. We weren't even managers. And she was talking to us about double PIVs or paying people's membership fees when we still have that. And so I'd love for you to talk about, Emily, specifically some of the things that you've done, because she's followed up from events and been like, hey, if you order tonight, which is on a Sunday night, I'm going to give X, Y, Z, next week the deal's off the table, that I've seen that work. And also, just how you're showing the comp plan. And when I tell you guys, she's showing the comp plan, she's boldly telling people, hey, I need to get you on the phone for 10 or 15 minutes. When can you Zoom? And she's going through ACMDE and she's showing the thousands of dollars that are in the front part of the compensation plan, telling about her story. And people need to see it. And she just keeps saying, hey, this may or may not be for you, but I'm committed to showing you this. I have an obligation to show you. The amount of people who've gotten inspired that were not inspired by, hey, I can show you how to get your products for free, not interested, right? When they saw the $5,000 when they went executive, highly interested. So if you can talk just a teeny bit, she has a cat, she just walked away, about the contest and the incentives that you're doing and specifically the comp plan. How you're showing them and the little videos, how you record them and text them out to people.
Oh, yeah. Let's touch on that really fast, because honestly, there's times that I can't get on with people and their timing doesn't work with my timing, because obviously my time is limited having babies. So I can tell you exactly what app this is. Sketchbook. It has a little pencil and it's orange. So all I do is download that. I screen record. So you drop it down, you're able to hit this little record button right down here, which is a little target. You hit that target, make sure your audio is on, and I send it to them. Make sure it's under a minute or less, but that allows them to hear exactly how that breakdown works. And I don't get too much into it. And my biggest thing that I constantly will highlight, if you do this by this date, you're spending this versus this. If you're having 2 qualifying orders already, let's get you something for free. Essentially, I'm going to put that free order underneath me, so the PIB doesn't roll back to me. And then we're going to put your 2 qualifying orders underneath you and your husband, because both of you guys want to do a 7-day or both of you guys want collagen and you guys both have shakes. So why not? And just being able to posture it in that way and say, if you have great results, all I ask is be open to sharing. And it's never I don't expect it, but at the same time, these are life-changing products. And I will follow up with them and say, how are you feeling? Do you feel good? So being able to do that, I want to
show you guys this, and I don't know if you can see it on my phone, but here's the audio, right? With people we met, she said, hey, this is what I was saying about how to divide up the orders. And then on the sketch pad, here's the ad.
Let me draw this out just so you can quickly understand it. Essentially, we'll be breaking your orders out into this way. So your first collagen order right here would be your initial order, Elizabeth, and then right here we would put Billy's order, and then right here would be your 7-day reset. And then, like I told you at the,
You guys don't have to see the whole thing. If you want, we can send it to you. But it's in a minute or less. She uses this ad. She just draws it out to everybody. And I know, like, Jess uses the graphic for a whole lot. And the point, there's a lot of ways to get there, but she's showing the money and she's showing upfront money and listing out the people. And then people immediately are like, why would I not tell with my mom? Why would I not tell with my aunt? I mean, the amount of group texts that I come in and with Emily and I see the audio and then I see the little white screen. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why everybody's getting paid, because she's obsessed with it, like absolutely obsessed.
Well, and it's such an easy way to get some of your money back. And when you're able to show them how to get the money back and just have an accountability partner, I don't even care if both, and I always say, I don't care if both those people are going to return, you're still getting that money. Do we know that people return? Very, very, very seldomly, because these products are incredible. I mean, let's be like, pretty seldomly do I ever have anybody do that. It's always they love the products and they always want to keep them and keep ordering them because they're amazing. So
talk to us a teeny bit about the contest and the way you're creating some urgency.
So the urgency that I create behind contests, honestly, drawing it out for people and saying, look, this is where you're at. Like my girl today, I constantly said, oh my gosh, you're at 7 enrollments. You've already made a consultant. You're sitting on a pirate. You're so close to Tulum. Let's do this. And she's like, really? Am I right? Yes. And I know for a fact she can do it because she alone is on fire. So being able to do that and being able to know where I'm at on my PIBs and know where I'm at on my LIA. Hey, I'm willing to give up this to give back to you because I'm not making $100 every time I make a consultant now. But at the same time, I will use it to leverage my business 100%. I'll use whatever I can and give back what I can, because if it creates more urgency and it lets them get paid, anytime that you can get your team paid, you're getting paid. And I think that was a big game changer for me.
Yep, she gives back a lot and invests in her team, and not in a way that's disingenuous, but she gets that even like what she's talking about is when you create a consultant, right? The first 20 times you do that, you sponsor someone that finds 2 people, you get $100. Well, after you've done that more than 20 times, you don't get that bonus. Okay. There used to be something for people who've been with us long enough to know that was called the Crystal Consultant Bonus, that you get $50 for finding 2. And if you did it within a week, the company doubled that, right? So you got $100. People would give away part of their consultant development bonus to create the urgency. Well, Emily's not making that $100 anymore, and the company doesn't have the Crystal Consultant Bonus, but she's offering things like that. Hey, if you find your 2 people, you're going to get this sign-up bonus from the company, this PIB, it doubles, you get this bonus, and I'm matching it. And even though she doesn't have that consultant development bonus, she understands the value of 3 orders in her tree, right? Like getting a consultant, her LIA points, what that happens in the pools or the volume that's going to come through with her cycles, over time, people that just come in and then they love it. And if they order for 3, 4, 5 months and they tell a bunch of people, that she does things like that, Emily, talk about like ways that you've gotten people to maybe like place an order, like with shipping and some other smaller things that you've done.
I mean, honestly, when I'm able to look down in people's trees and if I realize that they're getting close, like right now, there was a guy who didn't quite understood. He put 2 people on one side and they're on his left. I said, look, if you get somebody enrolled this week, I'm going to offer you $20. You can gift that right back to them, or you can pocket it yourself. Or if you have an order that you personally want to put through, I'll give you $15 towards free shipping. And being able to come at it with, I understand where you're coming from, but let's keep you having that volume rolling up so you keep getting paid. Our compensation plan is confusing when you first watch it. It totally is. I watched it 1,000 times, but when you're able to quickly break it down, this is what you'll get if you do this versus that. That's being able to lead in that way has helped me to be able to show the money. And of course, I think offering incentives are really helpful to people. It's never about, I always say that, oh, hey, I realize that I have some bonuses rolling back to me this week. I'd like to get you started this week. If so, I'm willing to give them up with this bonus.
It's so good. It's so generous, you guys. So we're going to close. I'm going to show you manager, right? Because I know we have some people in here and I know some that are very good at this and they could teach it to the whole company. And I know we have some people who are brand stinking new. Okay. And I want you guys to see what this is, because we're back to like, we're speaking French and iso-Latin and like, what are we talking about? I'm going to tell you how much money is on the table. I want you to know how to get it. And then I want you to be able to show other people how to get it. Okay. So our manager is 2 with 2, right? You plus 2, them plus 2. You sponsor 2 and teach them how to find their 2. So how many with 2? How many does each of your 2 need? Okay. This is not hard math, you guys. So I'm gonna, we're gonna play with Ann White here for a little bit because I love my queen, okay? So Ann comes in with the Afterglow bundle, right? She's like, all right, I need these 60 doses of collagen, 2 a day for the first month, right? I mean, I'm all about the fountain of youth and keeping that going. So her investment is $225, right? And I say, Ann, who are 2 people that want to have long lashes, want to drink something that feels like Spanx all over their body, and you know, the most plump, juicy lips ever. And she said, okay, anything I do, my best friend Holly does. And my super friend Jessica is always willing to try something. So Jessica and Holly join Ann. They do the same system. Isogenics gives a PIB, a product introductory bonus. It's a referral rebate, right? It's like, hey, thank you for introducing my friend to this. It's $25. So Isogenics is going to give Ann $25 for getting Holly started and $25 for getting Jessica started. Now, when she does 2 or more in the same week, you guys, our commission week is Monday through Sunday. It just started, right? So Holly joins tonight, Jessica joins tomorrow. These bonuses are going to double. So instead of $25 for Holly and $25 for Jessica, she gets $50 for both. Plus that first level of leadership, which is consultant, is $50. Okay. So right away, just for getting 2 friends to drink this little elixir with her, she has $150 back. Now, we know that Jessica and Holly are highly influential, right? They are raving product fans. They can get some friends to try some other things with them. So Ann says, Holly, I'm going to help you create a recommended cart link. It's your own affiliate link so that when people ask what you're doing, we can help you get your products for free. So Ann, because she helps Holly find her 2, she invites them on a call. They do some 3-way messages. She helps her with a social media post. She teaches her how to create a recommended cart. The company is going to pay Ann $100 for developing her. That's the consultant development bonus we were just talking about. Same thing. Jessica's running around at PTA, basketball practice, talking to all the moms. A couple friends hop on board. Holly and Jessica are going to earn the same $150 if we're talking about the Afterglow bundle, 2 in the same week. But Ann earns an additional $100 because she helped Jessica create that link. She showed her how to get her products for free. So now Ann was at $150 plus $200 for the consultant development bonus. We're at $350. This is the 2 with 2, right? Normally you have 60 days to do this. With the promotion, you have 30. But if you get 2 with 2, there's an additional $250. So the total back from a $225 investment is $600, okay? Normally the promotion, the Manager Mania promotion, is they're matching that bonus, that $250 bonus for someone who's never done it. And for someone who has or is out of their time frame of doing it, what you normally get within 60 days, they still are giving you an option to go for it. So you've heard Jessica say this over and over, that manager is the core rank in our company, right? Like that's the core rank. We know not everybody's going to go executive, even though they should, and we want them to, but getting people to consultant is not enough, right? In order to get to manager, you have to enroll more than 2 people most often, right? Because not everybody wants to share. So if you have to enroll 3 or 4 or 5 people to find the 2 that want to share, right? And we start to build depth and duplication that way. That's why it's the core rank. And so the company has this Manager Mania promotion. And I'm telling you, I got the leaders in loop last night, the email. I'm like, what? Like I went line by line. So I was like, this says the same thing. This says the like, and then I was like, oh my God, there's one word that's different in this. And I thought, this is so confusing. I had to like type it to myself to make sure I understood. So here's what you have to know. If you have never upgraded to an associate, or you're working with someone who has never upgraded to an associate yet, right? They're just a customer who's not upgraded or has not enrolled yet, meaning they're in this time period. Not only would they get their normal $250, but the company's matching it. So they have $500 on the table, plus the consultant development bonus, plus the PIBs. I mean, this is a really fast freaking way to show someone how to make $1,000. I know I just went from 250 to 500 to 1,000 because I'm including the fact they're going to have PIBs. I'm including the cycle or the consultant development bonus in there. They're probably going to cycle 1 or 2 times. So it's going to keep going. But if I was enrolling someone right now who is kind of excited about this, you know, and saying, hey, the people with me I know want to come out of the gates hot, but I'm obsessed right now with getting people an extra $500 before Thanksgiving break. You know, I'm going to get you some extra Black Friday cash right now. How fast do you want to go? I mean, that's the type of conversation that I'd be having with them and drawing this out and saying, here's the normal 250 and the company's matching it. So the contest started today and it goes through October 31st. You have the month of October to do this. Okay. Plus, you know, this week we're still propelling into Tulum. For those who are past the deadline, right? Let's say you're already a consultant and your manager date was last month or it's coming up in the week or something, or someone who's already hit above managers, they're a director, executive, etc. You're only eligible for the 250, but these types of bonuses, the rank advancement bonuses, don't come around for people who have already established it very often, right? Our company is generous in the pools and the executive lifestyle bonuses. Like I saw, and I was like, I can do this. Like I can create 2 new consultants. Oh, and so can Ryan. You guys are nuts if you think we're not getting that $500 because I'm going to do it in Ryan's business and I'm going to do it in my business, right? If they put the money on the table, go for it. What a great way to give it away. Like I messaged someone earlier today and I said, I'm giving it all to Florida, right? Like we're just that time of year where some people need it more. Like go for it and work so hard. Tell people I'm going for a goal. I'm going to give it to Hurricane Ian relief, right? I'm going for a goal. I'm going to donate it to a food bank for Thanksgiving. Would you help me hit that? You know, like it doesn't always have to be about the glitz and the glam or the recognition, but like what drives you and what's going to drive other people, especially through the holiday season. So I want you guys to put 11 in the chat if you are so fired up about the Manager Mania promotion and you are going to stay up an extra 30 minutes right now because you want to get some people going. You want to be the first people to get that $500 or 250. If you're confused about it, ask us, but don't overcomplicate it. The writing, I love you, Isogenics. The writing in that newsletter was quite overwhelming and it was a little bit overcomplicated. It didn't need to be. If you've never promoted, right, and you're in the time frames, you've never converted to an associate, or you are an associate or a consultant, but you're still in your initial window, you get the normal rank advancement and they're matching it. If you are outside of your typical rank advancement time period, or you have already been promoted to manager, you get 250. But every single person gets 250 or $500 if you go for it, which is incredible. So I want to leave you guys with just 2 teeny tiny stories to just remind you of the type of people that are out there. I know you guys have heard Jessica tell you many times she's going after networkers and the type of people that are really hungry right now, that are out there in the industry. And I am in a lot of networking groups right now. I'm actually leading one and it's like forcing myself to just kind of grow and put myself out there. But I'm also working with someone who is a networker who came from another company in the UK, and I'm learning a lot from her, right? Because she has a different skill set and she's been in the industry longer than me and with different companies. And it's a really cool experience that we're having. And so one of the gals that we were on a Zoom with today, she's a coach, highly influential, high profile type of woman, really interested in the product, like very much just the product. And we kept talking about the opportunity, and I'm trying to lead with the vision and I'm trying to show her the numbers. The UK has a different promotion going on right now. And there was a fair amount of resistance, which I could tell right away was like a lack of belief, not in herself, but in the industry, in just the profession. And once I identified it, I knew how I could validate it and I could build that belief. Part of it was my story, part of it was other people's stories. But I got really real with the things that I knew mattered because we asked the questions, right? I mean, get to really know people, be a professional interviewer. But I was like, no one is saying don't do your coaching job, right? Like it's not that like you have to go into this and do it full time, but I know the type of person that would rather fly first class than coach. In this side hustle allows people to do that, right? It allows you to drive a luxury car and not a standard car. It allows you to contribute more. It allows you to shop when you want. It allows you to be selective with the coaching clients you want. If you guys could have seen the way she lit up and the way that she responded, because all of a sudden she could see herself doing those things. And I remember when Jani did that to me, like, I remember just thinking, oh my gosh. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And you start to say, if not this, then what? And with coaches and people who are entrepreneurs and they're in this model that everything they do is dependent on them, like what they do in exchanging that time for money, you start to get it. And they go, oh my gosh, I can do this. I don't have to give up something, but I can start to invite more. I can start to like have more things. it's super fun and super fabulous. So needless to say, we got off the Zoom and we were in group messages and she was sending out links left and right and just absolutely like, it's so excited about this. And I left and I met a girl at a coffee shop who used to be a social media manager, and now she's doing some stuff in like senior living. I wasn't entirely sure what she did, but she was super cute. She was fun. We met at an event and I was like, let's just go and like hang out. And the fast forward version, because she was asking me questions, and I am so confident about what we do. You guys, it is such a gift. And I know people are looking for it, but if you waver, they'll waver. I always hear David Wood from UIA saying, if a guy said, I'm 99% sure I want to marry you, you're going to focus on the 1%. So when I get into my zone, my posture, my belief of this company, like I just envision that like unstoppable, unshakable, this 100% bulletproof, clarity of what we have. And she said to me, she had been introduced to another company. I won't bash the company, but she had no leadership. Right. She goes, I've always wanted to do this. She goes, they made me buy like $1,000 worth of shampoo. And then I got thrown to the wolves. No mentorship, no coaching. Like she would ask questions and like no one helped her. And she was like, I sat on all this product. Then I had no idea what to do. So she thought, I'll never do this again. And then she has known other people in Isogenics and no one has approached her. I mean, she was really honest, but like, I see all this stuff on the stories. Like I want the collagen. And she goes, but like, I don't know why people don't approach me. It's probably because I wouldn't be very good at it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you would friggin' be amazing at this, with your influence and your skill set. And we just sat there for a little bit and it was exactly what we tell you all the time when you're prospecting. It's just aligned. I'm like, we have market disruptor products, a simple system that anybody can do in a compensation plan with no ceiling. And then I got her why, and she's planning a wedding and all this and that. And it's probably not going to be her full time. Maybe it will be, who knows? Maybe it'll be the next Emily Sutherland. We never thought she was going to do that, but we left there and she's like, send me a link. I want to do this. If you really think I can do it. And it's sometimes you just have to believe in somebody else. Right. And like Janny believed in Jess and I in ways that we would text each other. We would get off that call and be like, she hasn't even met us. Like, what's wrong with that woman? Like, does she know what she's doing? And it was the greatest thing to have this person on the other side of the country think we were the best thing since sliced bread. And you can do that for other people. So we have these promotions. We have this, I heard the other day on the radio, and I don't get into the scarcity mindset, but it was like, we are officially in, a recession. And I was like, whatever that means, I don't care. Right. But it was like so cheesy that it like caught my attention. And I just thought, then more people need what we have. And that was my post today. If you saw it, it's like being bold and just 10xing it because the right people are out there. So you guys, please go for this promotion. Do it yourself. Have integrity, have authenticity, have passion, and then get so excited that you can do it for other people. Go back to some of your customers right now and just say, it may or may not be for you, but if I can help you get some extra spending cash just in time for the holidays. They just launched this promotion. I wanted to show you so quickly how we can make $250, how we can make $500. Do you know anybody who wants to make $250, who wants to make $500? And the brand new people that you enrolled, take Emily Sutherland's tip, right? Use the graphic and then write over it and be like, plus extra 250, right over there and say, here's what you normally get. And here's what happens if we do it before Halloween. Are you in? Are you ready? And stay up later with people, get up earlier, do more messages, whatever it takes, because when you get your people paid, it's the best freaking gift ever. So Jess, do you have anything? Do you have anything to say? All right, you guys, happy Monday. Go enjoy the rest of your night. We're going to be recognizing manager manias all through the month. Have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.